Two, 1, 2, and 2. This is test audio from St. Patrick's main centre here in Dublin 8, going out to the schools who are 12 viewers, 11 viewers, 13 viewers, 14 viewers. Good morning and welcome. This is your audio test from Brian. It's bright and early, 8:15, and we are streaming. Thank you very much. We'll have more sound for you later. This is your sound test. Thank you very much.
You can actually see the camera.
Quarter to 9. You've loads of time yet.
So you see up the top bar, then like there's the phone call hang up, the cog.
Yeah.
Like you can actually click the camera, yeah,
Fine.
and microphone.
2 2. What the hell? Oh, that was me. That's your speaker. 2 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Okay. I'm going over to the studio to talk onto this thing. Okay.
Okay.
TFL. I want to make sure that that works. I'm not trusting anything anymore. Sure that they it's like believe it or not, this has XS range, prosumer range. It actually works perfectly fine to our theatre. It's still working. Oh yeah, it picks it up. Incredible. And I got a PFL, the Mackie mixer, which should be getting to the fader on the
Yes.
to make sure. Otherwise, when you get keys that back double in on the back,
You're not going to do that now.
No, no,
Just see if you can work out.
I'm going to lock that double lock so no one gets at it. Right? There's Alan.
Okay. Excuse me. Hi, everybody. Okay, we're going to get started in about 10 minutes. So everybody needs a piece of paper, a pen, or a crayon. They're bubbles or a balloon. Everybody got bubbles, so everybody should have bubbles. If there's somebody that doesn't have one of the four, please put up your hand. Okay, keep your hand up and we'll come to you.
1, 2.
Alan's going to do a piece of camera before. He's not going on radio yet. No. So it doesn't matter.
1, 2, 1, 2.
So I'm just going to talk to everyone here. Okay, so we're going to do our here to everyone.
This is for you.
You put
The radio mic. You want to put on her?
put it on properly.
Well, flip off, will I? Okay, do that. Yeah, why not?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We're here in St. Patrick's and we're talking to the assembled students, but we're also on YouTube Live to 31 schools and increasing over the next 15 minutes. So about 5,000 people are tuning in. To everybody in the schools, good morning out there, and thank you for joining us. In a few moments' time, Clodagh will be giving you a run-through of what's happening here today before the actual start time. So that's coming up in a moment. For technical information, I hope everybody's receiving sound crystal clear and vision. And if there's any outages, just do a reload during the broadcast. Follow the mindfulness with your local practitioner and keep going as if nothing happened, and the signal will come back. If you need to contact me, it's webmaster@stpatsmail.com. I'm going to hand over to Clodagh now, who's going to tell you about what's going to happen in the next half hour.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to St. Patrick's Mental Health Services, and hi, everyone across the country. So it's really exciting. Our goal today is to try to set a mindfulness world record of the largest mindfulness lesson ever. So well done, everyone, for getting here, because I know it's really early in the morning for everyone here and everyone around the country. And I'm really impressed that you've all been up early and doing so great already. And thank you to all your teachers and mindful practitioners. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. Mindfulness exercises. And even though we're trying to set a world record, the goal of mindfulness really is just to be in the present moment. So I just want everyone to take part as best they can and to enjoy taking part, just to throw yourself into the moment and have fun. The goal is to promote mental health and just have fun. We're going to do a series of about 7 exercises. I'll talk you through them as we go along. But I would like you initially to just do a practice exercise with your balloons. Because when we start, we're actually going to do the balloon exercise quite quickly. I'm going to ask you even just to begin a little bit of mindfulness before we're starting. So if everyone can just, one thing I'm going to keep saying is just have a mindful posture. Sorry, yeah. A mindful posture means just sitting up straight, but not too straight. And feeling comfortable, so your feet on the ground if they can reach, or if you're sitting cross-legged, not here, but in the other parts of the country, maybe just to make sure you're comfortable and you can stretch your legs if you need to. Just take 3 mindful breaths. So I just want you to breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your nose. And back in through your nose and out through your nose. And breathing back in through your nose and out through your nose. Okay, well done. So the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is just really mindfully look at your balloon. What your balloon is like. Notice if there's any marks on your balloon or any different colors. As if you've never ever seen a balloon before. You're an alien from outer space and you've no idea what a balloon is.
All right, okay, yeah.
Photo cameras on them.
Okay.
Okay, well done. And in a couple of minutes, I'm going to talk you through that again. And I'm going to ask you then to throw your balloon away, but not yet, and try to find it. But I'll talk you through that at the time, okay? If there's any urges to burst balloons at the moment, please try not to go with the urges if you can. Yeah. Great. One last thing is that to begin the mindful practice, you know when we've begun the lesson, because I'm going to use a mindful gong and I'm going to give it 3 rings, and that's going to open the practice and end the practice. Okay, so best of luck, everybody. I'll see you in a little while. Okay.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Lovely, thank you.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Close.
When it comes to throwing up to Clodagh with our thing, you standing out here.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So initially,
Do you need these bells?
I do when we're finished to start the practice. I need the bells. So if they're,
Where do you need them?
we'll just go with the opening shot.
I suppose if they're there, I can just grab them. Yeah, perfect. Oh,
Can it work?
perfect. Thanks, man. Yeah.
The further you get away from that speaker, the more power I can give you on the microphone to the sound system. They can hear
Okay,
you.
so where do you want me to
Telling
be?
us we need to be standing here.
Just during the half hour, not now. You go.
Yeah. Okay.
Pardon me. Yeah.
Okay, so we just stand here. You don't really need that at the start,
Okay.
do you? Because
No, because you can go over and do that and take a
stand by, everybody. Just sorry, guys. Can we get you all to quiet down? Thanks a million.
Yeah.
Rusty place, it's all right. Yeah. Can I kill that music there? Yeah.
So I'm throwing to Cork. They're throwing to Galway. Galway throws back to here. Then we start the world record.
That's right, and you count in 3, 2, 1, and then it would be to have a shot in Clodagh doing her thing.
We have to do the bells. It's 3 2 1, the 3 bells, and then Clodagh starts talking.
Okay.
You're very welcome back to St. Patrick's University Hospital. We are live here all morning. Now, we have been telling you that we're going to try and set a new world record for mindfulness this morning. And we're joined once again by Dr. Clodagh Dowling. Clodagh, you're going to tell us what we're going to be doing, what the thing is, what's happening. Okay. Then we sort of said, as we said, we've been joined by over 4,000 students right across the country and 2 centres live this morning. So let's go to Donica back in Cork to see how things are in Cork. Donica, what's happening?
Hold it. And you'll stay looking to camera until we're clear from that point.
Noel needs to throw back to me because I don't know if he's finished or not.
We will cue you on that. Can you hear Donica at that time?
I heard Donica. Noel needs to throw back to me. Noel needs to say back to Dublin or back to Alan. So we are back here.
Yeah, that will happen.
Thank you very much, Noel. Yes, everybody has said, and all our gang from St. James's. Good morning to you guys from St. James's. Yay! Are we all ready for our world record attempt? Well, our world record attempt starts in 3, 2, 1.
Now, can you just show Alan exactly what to do there?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
I'd have to do it 3 times.
Are you going 3, bang?
No, they need to wait. It needs to be a pause.
So the sound
That's the
comes
thing
out.
of it. It needs to be a pause in it.
Okay, Neil
And
there.
after the third one, Clodagh will start talking. So you just need a close-up of the...
Okay, so after that, Clodagh, you...
This is the start. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and we ring these bells 3 times. But there has to be a little gap in them. So there has to be, it has to go. Yeah, and then Clodagh will start talking immediately after that.
Okay, yeah.
And Clodagh, you're here.
So you're going to kind of...
All right.
Yeah, perfect.
You going to...
Clodagh, can we hear you talking? Just can't do whatever.
Okay, so if everyone can get into their mindful posture.
1, 2.
Yeah, let's just... Yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay.
No, oh yeah.
Just start talking into it just for a little.
So if everybody could get into their mindful posture for a moment, where they're sitting up straight, but not too straight, but not too slouched. And if you can begin, just to notice your balloon.
Then I'll come around here. Guys, then I come around here. And
okay, 30 seconds, okay.
I come around here, and then I'm going to come in here and just go,
okay,
we're letting
Clodagh take that for the moment.
continue on your world record. They know that I'm going there then to throw to break.
Yes, yeah, you'll start this camera. All right, guys, this is the real thing. Good luck, everybody.
Okay, we're doing the real thing and the radio doesn't know, does it?
Yeah.
We're going for a reel now, okay, everybody? Standing by.
Okay,
This is
stand
real.
by.
You're very welcome back to St. Patrick's University Hospital here in Dublin. We are here live all morning as part of World Mental Health Week, and of course Ireland AM's Mental Health Week right across the week on Ireland AM. So do stay with us. We have some incredible guests to talk to over the week. But we have been talking about it all morning. We want to set a new world record for mindfulness. And here to tell us more, she's back to tell us, it's Dr. Clodagh Dowling. Clodagh,
hi.
Welcome back to us. Now, this is a huge thing. We have thousands of people standing by right across the country, thousands of school children and others who want to take part in this to create a world record for today. So tell us what we have to do.
Okay, so I'm going to talk everyone through a 30-minute mindful lesson. So there's going to be 7 different exercises. I'm going to ask the young people to engage fully in the exercises. Some of them are going to be looking at thoughts, some are going to be looking at how they're feeling in their body, and some are going to be just observing what's going on around them.
Okay, and it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So everybody will be taking part in that for 30 minutes, and at the end of it then hopefully we will have created this world record. Well, as we were saying, there's over 4,000 students in schools right across the country, but we have 2 centres. So let's go down to Donnacha in Cork to see how he's getting on. Donnacha, how's things in Cork?
Okay, we're clear. Okay, we're just holding on the 2 shot again.
Thank you very much, Noel. Yes, now back here we have all the guys from St. James's. Let's hear you. Are we ready to break a world record? Are we going to be the best? Okay, now it's very important how this starts, Clodagh, because it starts from when I say 3, 2, 1, we ring the bell, and then that starts the whole process for everybody right across the country.
Absolutely,
Are we ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
So everyone, I'd like you to get into your mindful posture. So sitting up straight, but not too slouched. Okay, well done. And now I'd like you to begin to look at your balloon as if you've never ever seen your balloon before. So just notice any colors or marks on the balloon, inside or outside of the balloon. Maybe have a look at the end of the balloon so you can see the knot. And in my count of 3, I'd like you to stand up when I count to 3 and put the balloon in the air and push it away. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, go. Yay! Okay, And if everyone can sit back down in their place once they've done that, I'm going to ask you just to let go of the balloon in your mind and just for a moment close your eyes, forgetting all about the balloon and switching your attention to your breath. So just noticing as you breathe in and breathe out. And again, on my count of 3, I'm going to ask you in a moment to get up and try and find your balloon. So try to do this mindfully, so no talking, just really focusing on noticing the balloons around you and thinking about how do you know it's your balloon and not someone else's? What's unique about your balloon? So 1, 3. Okay. Well done, brilliant. Now sit back down. Once you're happy it's your balloon, please sit back down in your seats.
Is this what's happening here now? Oh. And should we have Owen and Adam in this? Is Owen and Adam in this opener?
Okay, just maybe a few more seconds trying to find your balloon. And if you don't have yours, that's okay. Just notice how you know it's not your balloon. Okay. Once you have your balloon, if you can hold on to it, please. Okay. So if everyone can take a seat again, and this is here and everyone across the country as well. Okay. So for everyone, mindful teachers and practitioners across the country, we're going to begin a reflection now to ask the young people what it was like to do this exercise. So if everyone can be sitting down, I'm going to ask you to maybe let me know a little bit about what that was like. How did you know it was your balloon? What did you notice? Yes. Brilliant. Well done for noticing that. So you noticed a smiley face. Well done. Okay. Did anyone else notice anything about the balloon? Yeah. Wow. Well noticed. Well spotted. Okay. And we'll just ask one more. Yes. Name on it. And what's your name? Katie. Well done for noticing that. Okay. So we're going to ask lots of reflections as time goes on. So hopefully, if you want to, you'll get a chance to speak up. So well done, everyone there. So we're going to move on from the reflection and we're going to move on to another exercise for those practitioners leading exercises elsewhere. So the next part we're going to do is mindful breathing. And mindful breathing is a really core skill. And when we notice our breath, it can really bring us back into the present moment, which is exactly what we're trying to do when we do mindfulness. So if everyone can maybe put their balloons away if they want, maybe at their feet, and try to switch your attention. So let go of the balloons in your mind. Don't worry about that exercise, let it go. And again, if everyone can be in their mindful posture, again, just sitting up straight, but not too straight, but making sure you feel comfortable, but not slouched. Okay. And again, I'd like everyone just to close their eyes for a few moments, or if you don't want to close your eyes, just maybe look down. Sometimes it's nice to kind of think of like a heavy lidded gaze, as if you're a little bit sleepy. Okay. And I would just like everyone to begin to tune into their breath. So just begin to notice your breath. Notice as you breathe in, and notice as you breathe out. And maybe just become aware of maybe how your shoulders are moving up and down as you breathe in and breathe out. A kind of subtle movement. Maybe notice how your rib cage is kind of moving up and down as you breathe in and you breathe out. Don't worry, if there's any noises, just return your attention back to your breath. So often there's distractions in life, isn't there? So moving back to your breath. Cage. And then moving your attention to your stomach. Noting as you breathe in and breathe out how your stomach rises and falls. And your mind may be wandering. You may have different feelings or sensations that are coming up or an urge to act on them. So just notice them. Almost in your mind, wave at them as if they're passers-by, but you're not going to have a chat with them. You're not going to engage with them. You might notice that you're having thoughts or memories or images come into your mind. And again, similarly, just notice that. But don't engage, don't have a chat with them. Just go back to your breath. Some of you may be having urges to play with your balloons or play with your bubbles. And if you are, just notice that and try not to go with the urge. Try to move your attention back to your breath. And again, your mind may wander. You're not trying to change that, just notice that. You may notice that 100 times. Maybe try moving your attention back to your breath. Maybe it's to your shoulders, or your rib cage, or your stomach. Just tuning on that for a few more moments. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back into the room. Okay, so well done, everyone. And just for you guys and for everyone across the country, we're going to begin to do the reflection. So I just want to ask, what did you notice during that exercise? What did you notice about your breath? Or about your mind? Yes? Yeah, had you noticed that before? No, well done. So you observed your stomach moving up and down. Well noticed. Yes? Say it again? You notice feeling relaxed. Brilliant. And sometimes with mindfulness, we do feel more relaxed, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes the present moment can be hard. Well done for noticing that. Yeah. Okay, so you noticed feeling a bit anxious in your body. And did that stay or did that pass? Okay, well done. Well done for noticing that. Okay, I'll just take one more person there. Yeah. Okay, so you like the rhythm of your shoulders moving. Well done. Great. Okay, so thanks everyone for trying out there. And we're going to move back to another exercise now. So we're going to just do a really brief exercise where I'm going to ask you to have your crayons or your pens and your paper in front of you. And I'm going to ask you just in a few moments to really notice your thoughts. And every time you have a thought, I want you just to do a tick on your piece of paper. And a thought can be, I don't have a thought. That's a thought. Or a thought can be, I'm bored. That's a thought. You can have the same thought 10 times and that's okay. Just make a mark on your piece of paper when you're ready. Okay. So I'm going to count to 3 and then I'm going to start the stopwatch so I can time a minute perfectly for you. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. So just begin to notice your thoughts, and every time you have a thought, even if it's what do I do, that's a thought, just to put a tick on your piece of paper. So your thought could be, what's the person beside me doing? And that's a thought. A thought can be, I have no thought. That's still a thought. So your mind might get distracted by thoughts, but please note them as thoughts. Okay. And when you're ready, I just want you to put your pen and paper down. And I'm going to check in again and do a reflection to see what that exercise was like. So for here and for practitioners in other schools, just going to ask, how many thoughts do people have? Did you notice? Yeah, how many thoughts did you have? 9, you had 9 thoughts, well done, yeah. 7, how many did you have? 7. 8, wow. 4, well done. 7, okay, brilliant. Did anyone have more than 7? Yeah, how many did you have? 17, wow, okay. I'll take one more. 20 thoughts, wow, okay. Last one, you're being good with your hand up. Say it again. 22, okay. So we're going to stop there, and I'm just going to do a quick calculation, but my maths isn't so good, so I'm going to think about, you guys were kind of saying between 4, 7, 9, 22, 42, so 100. So if you were to have even 10 thoughts in 1 minute, that would be 60 thoughts in an hour. And if you were to kind of think about having been awake, maybe you guys have been awake a long time, but if you were awake for 10 hours, that might be having 6,000 thoughts in 10 hours, okay? So I want you to think about how many thoughts are you going to be aware of or mindful of in this half an hour? So a lot of the exercise we're going to be doing is checking in to notice your thoughts. So how many are you going to notice, okay? So we're going to move on now to the next exercise. Again, don't worry, if your balloon bursts, that's just a noise, and just move your attention back onto the next exercise. So I'm going to ask you to do a body scan. So I'm going to ask you to become aware of your body from your tips of your toes, the top of your head. And this exercise helps us become more aware of how we feel physically and how we feel emotionally. And by tuning into our breath and our body, it brings us into the present moment, into the moment you're in right now. And I'm going to ask you to take your mindful posture. And if you can, close your eyes. If not, maybe just look down so other people don't feel you're looking at them. And it might help you concentrate a little bit if you look down at the ground or have your eyes closed. Okay, so Tricia's going to set this up. So if you can begin...
Let's start by becoming mindfully aware.
Yeah. So if you can begin by tuning into your breath and becoming mindfully aware of the present moment by noticing your breath. Breathing in.
Notice yourself
and breathing out.
And notice as you breathe out. Become aware of
and
where
again,
you
it might be a little bit distracting because there's another voice.
With someone,
but just notice what that's like and bring your attention back to your breath.
Take another deep breath. Notice yourself, breathe in, and notice as you breathe out.
Okay. So just noticing, what time of day is it? Is it the morning, or is it the afternoon, or is it the evening, or is it nighttime? And again, tuning back into your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And just noticing how you're feeling. Are you calm? Is your mind busy? How do you feel? How does your body feel? Are you awake? Are you tired? Are you hungry? Are you comfortable? Again, just tuning back into your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And noticing, are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? Are you worried, or are you okay? Is there any stress in your body? Often we have stress in our shoulders. Can you feel any stress in your shoulders? And again, just tuning into your breath. We're going to ask you to turn your attention to your feet. So I'd like everyone just to notice how their feet feels. If you notice your soles of your feet, your toes, notice your ankle. Our feet are often carrying us around all day and we don't always notice them. And just taking a deep breath, tuning into your breath, noticing your breath, and moving your attention to your leg. So just noticing how your leg feels. The top of your leg, bottom of your leg, your shins, your calves, your knees, your hips. Just noticing how your whole leg feels. I'd like you now to tune into the next part of your body, noticing maybe your stomach, maybe noticing your chest, beginning to notice your back. Again, noticing as your shoulders and your back move when you breathe in and breathe out. And then moving your attention away, beginning to notice what your arm is like, maybe both arms. Noticing how your upper arm is, your lower arm, maybe your biceps and your triceps. Noticing your elbows, noticing your wrists, noticing your hands, maybe paying attention to your thumbs and the rest of your fingers. And then moving away from your arm, just noticing how both your arms feel. And moving away towards the upper part of your body. So noticing your neck, maybe moving your head from left to right, and just noticing what your head feels like in this moment. Is there any tension there in your shoulders again? Maybe noticing your face, noticing your chin, maybe noticing your cheeks, noticing your nose, noticing your eyes, noticing your eyebrows. Has anyone noticed their eyebrows yet today? Noticing your forehead, noticing the top of your head, and just even noticing how your hair feels. Can you feel the hair in your head? And again, just moving away, just tuning into your breath for one more moment, noticing as you breathe in and noticing as you breathe out. Maybe you've become more aware of how your whole body feels after scanning each part like that. How does your body feel today? And again, before we finish this exercise, just noticing your breath again and noticing how you feel. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming back into the room. So, well done everyone, and we're going to do the reflections here, and also for mindful helpers at other schools, we're going to do the reflection. So well done everyone for doing a body scan there. I'm just going to ask a couple of people, what did you notice during that exercise? Yeah, what did you notice? Say it again. Can you speak up because it's hard to hear your voice? Ankles, okay, so you noticed your ankles, well done. Okay, yeah. You noticed your hands. Anything you noticed about your hands? Okay, and the back, yeah. They weren't. They just relaxed, so you noticed a change in them. Well done, well noticed. Behind you there, yeah. Okay, and had you noticed that before? No, well done, well noticed, okay. Okay, so really well done everyone for taking part in that exercise. So for those across the country, we're going to move on to the next exercise now. So this exercise is going to be mindful listening. And I'd like you to use some of the skills you've just learned to do this exercise. So I'm going to ask you to be aware possibly of how you feel listening to the music. So you might notice emotions or changes in your body. You might just notice the music, and that's absolutely okay. Or you might notice thoughts or judgments about the music. And again, they're just thoughts, so notice them and let them go. I've chosen the song Flight to Paradise by Eric Whittaker because in this song, I think there's 5,905 people singing in it. And I think they're from about 101 different countries. So it's a little bit like what we're doing today, except we're all in the same country. So maybe next year we'll be doing this with lots of other countries. And if you can, even see if you can notice the different singers. Can you notice any of the 5,905 people singing in this song? Okay, so before we start, I'd just like you again to tune into your posture. So you're sitting up straight, but not too straight. So you're not falling asleep, but you're not uncomfortable. And if you can, close your eyes and just really embrace the music. Okay, so when I count to 3, we're going to play the music. Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
And all she ever thinks about is being any other place than this. 'Cause she remembers having wings, but she's forgotten what it's like to feel a paradise of bliss. And all I want to do is fly. Join to WIMS.
So well done everyone for tuning into that. And we're going to do the reflections here and also for teachers across the country. So just want to check in, what did you notice as you were listening to that song? Yeah. Okay, so you were kind of tuning into the visual piece, noticing lots of different people. Yeah. Say that again? Yeah, well noticed. So it starts off dull and grey and then really kind of raises and gets colourful. Yeah. Okay, well done. Noticing you're breathing a bit more as you're doing that. Great. Did anyone notice any physical emotions as they were listening to the song? Yeah. Stress. Okay, so you noticed stress. Was there a thought with that? Was there any thoughts with that? Yeah, can you name what it was? Can you name the thought? Say it again. Overworked. Okay, well done. Well noticed. Okay, great. So well done for tuning into that. Some of you, I think, might have done it like tuning in listening, and some of you might have tuned into the visual part, and some of you noticed your body. So we're going to move on to the next exercise for those across the country. Okay. So this exercise is called Leaves on a Stream. And this exercise is really important because it helps us notice that we always have thoughts that come and go, but that we don't have to go with them. So I'm going to ask you to imagine your mind sitting beside a stream and seeing lots of leaves on the stream. So sometimes there might be loads flowing really quickly. Sometimes there might just be a few. Sometimes there might be a few moments where there's no thoughts. Sometimes there might be a really attention-grabbing leaf that's really interesting that you want to look at more. So our thoughts are a bit like those leaves. And in a couple of moments, I'm going to ask you to, every time you have a thought, just to notice that thought and to put it on the leaf, on the stream in your imagination, and just let it flow by. Because our thoughts are a bit like leaves. They can always come and go. We sometimes get hooked on them or want to have a chat with them or really notice them. But we don't have to. We can just let them go. So I really want you to notice what it's like to just not have to get into a big conversation with your thoughts, but just to watch them float on by. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes a bit more sense as we do it as well. Okay, so if everyone can tune in to their posture again. So maybe if you're sitting forward, maybe just sit up a little bit more straight. Or if you're feeling sleepy and you want to put your head in the desk, try not to. Try to just do the opposite of that for a few moments. I know you guys have been up really, really early. Okay. And if you can, I'd like you to close your eyes or have a heavy lidded gaze. Okay. And maybe again, just tuning into your breath for a few moments to help you be in the present moment. And now imagine that you're sitting on the bank of a stream and there are leaves flowing past. And I'd like you to begin to put thoughts that you have on the leaf. So a thought can be, I have no thoughts, or what am I supposed to do? Or thoughts can be about what happened earlier or about the future. Just notice the thought and let it go on the leaf in your mind. So some of you might right now have no thoughts, because sometimes when we're asked to notice our thoughts, our mind goes a bit blank. And that's okay. Just notice that. Some of you may have a very busy mind. And if the leaves in the stream are flowing quickly, just notice how busy your mind is, trying to put your thoughts on a leaf and letting them flow by. And this exercise is not about trying to control your mind, waiting for positive thoughts or good thoughts. It's just noticing whether the thought is positive or negative, putting it on the leaf and letting it go, letting it flow by. You might notice a thought that's really interesting to you, that you kind of want to look at and think about. So if your mind has wandered and begun to do that, just notice that. That's okay. That's what our mind does. But noticing that and maybe then letting it go and putting it on a leaf and letting it go by. If it's a really thought-grabbing one, it might come back. And if it does, that's okay. Just notice it's come back and try to let it go again. And again, if your mind has wandered, just gently, non-judgmentally, just bring it back. That's what our mind does. Our minds often are so busy, they distract us. Okay. So in a few moments, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and come back into the room. So when you're ready, just letting go of your last thought, placing it on the leaf, and coming back into the room. Okay. So I'm going to just check in with everyone here, and just for mindful teachers and helpers, maybe to do the reflection as well. So I'm just going to check in with everyone here. What did you notice about your thoughts during that exercise? What did you notice about that exercise? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you. Yeah.
Some leaves are slow, some leaves are fast.
Yeah, well noticed. And that can be a bit like our mind sometimes. Yeah, excellent. Well done. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and that again, so some leaves fall and some leaves don't. Well done, well noticed. Any other thoughts or observations during that exercise? Yeah. Say it again. Okay, so you tuned into the watching of the leaves. Yeah, well done. Okay. Did anyone have any sticky thoughts or thoughts that kept coming back? No. Okay. Well done, guys, for doing that exercise. I know that one can be a hard one sometimes. So we're going to move on to the last exercise for everyone here and for everyone across the country. So this is mindfulness of bubbles, through how to become more aware and mindful using bubbles. So if everyone can grab their container and just notice any urge to open it and try not to go with the urge. So be mindful of that urge. Some of you may have already started, but if you can, just go back to putting the wand back in the bubbles container. And I just want you to really notice the bubbles container for a few moments, because again, being mindful is just noticing ordinary everyday things that sometimes we don't look at properly. If you can just notice your container for a few moments, is there any colours on it, any writing on it? And even if you're holding it, just notice what it feels like. So mindfulness of touch, noticing the container. Is there any edges on it? What shape is it? And when you're ready, I want you to begin to blow bubbles. And as you're blowing the bubbles, I want you to use your mindfulness skills to notice the colours of the bubbles. Maybe some of you might have memories, so you might have thoughts about the last time you used the bubbles or other thoughts. You might begin comparing bubbles, so notice if you're looking at other people's bubbles and not your own. And maybe even tune into your listening and notice, can you hear the bubbles pop on the ground or on the table? Maybe notice any emotions that are coming up for you inside. How are you feeling when you're blowing the bubbles? Okay. Yeah, well noticed. That stayed for a while. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to begin to put your wand away and to let go of the bubbles. And being mindful, notice if that's easy for you, or notice if that's hard. Maybe you want to keep blowing the bubbles. But just maybe for a few moments, try to put the wand back into the container. Can everyone try to put it back in the container and notice the areas that you want to keep doing it? Because it's totally understandable. Done. Okay. So we're just going to finish up with the last reflection, just to check in what people noticed. So can I ask you guys, what did you notice about doing that exercise? Yeah, what did you notice? Some bubbles were sticking, so you noticed that. Well done. Yeah, and you can, it's kind of touch, you can feel it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you know anywhere you felt relaxed in your head or your body? Your head, lovely. Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, notice there's different sizes. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. It's what? Super addictive. It's hard to stop. I could see some of you found it really hard to stop. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The different sizes and shapes. Okay, so for everyone in different counties, we're going to stop that exercise now, and I think we've actually reached our time. So I'm going to just close the exercise or close the lesson with 3 bells or 3 rings from the mindfulness bell. Yay, we've done it. Well done. It's over. So thanks everyone for taking part. You all did a brilliant job. And again, it's the taking part, not the record that matters. It's the taking part. And keep the bubbles, yeah. Yeah. Oh. And thanks everyone.
Thank you, Clodagh. We know that there are some schools who are joining us late, so if you have joined late, you can roll the timeline back and watch this from the beginning, back to about 33 minutes ago, and you can watch the whole thing from the beginning. Thanks to the 45 plus schools that tuned in over the last half hour, thousands upon thousands of students all over the country for taking part, and for every school and every student and every teacher who helped organise it. Thanks to Clodagh for being our mindfulness practitioner here today, and to every other practitioner in the local areas. Thanks for tuning in, and the video is available on YouTube to watch again all this week. Thank you.